Despite the fact that I've been fired, spent months finding a new job, being treated Gaijin service, and I'm still struggling speaking the bolo-bolo Nihongo, here, I'm still living in Japan. Why? As you realize, I spent like several episodes of complaining about the struggles and frustrations I've been having in Japan, and you're probably gonna think, wow, you have been bitching about Japan a lot, why don't you just leave? But I still live here in Japan. Yes, there were some frustrations that I've been confronted in this country, so as many foreigners may have, but frustration is just like a minimal part of my life here comparing to the joys, happiness, and peacefulness living in Japan. The reasons why I stay in Japan, number one, because I love Yokohama. I cannot express how much I love Yokohama. It's so convenient and it's so comfortable, sometimes too comfortable. It's close to nature, yet also very close to the commercial area. And the rent is cheaper than Tokyo. Can you imagine a place where you live? It's just about 5 to 30 minutes walk to the zoo, to the park, to the onsen, to the library, to shopping center, izakaya, gyms, and all those sightseeing spots. Yet not so busy as Tokyo does. I must admit that Tokyo is a fantastic city, but it just, every time I visit Tokyo, I feel kind of stressful and a little bit ira-ira. This city couldn't really provide the peacefulness that I'm looking for. Yet the vibe here in Yokohama is just perfect for me. It makes you feel like you're living in a small town, yet not so far away from the city area. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit subjective here, but Yokohama is really my ibasho. And ever since I moved to Yokohama, I realized I find a place to live, likely forever, in Japan. Reason number two is I met quite a few friends here in Japan. I mean, sure, making friends is always like a headache to a lot of foreigners living in Japan. Loneliness seems to be like an unavoidable topic for us, but I'm so lucky I met a bunch of amazing people from all over the world in Japan. They can be like people who runs game business, a dentist, owner of izakaya, YouTubers, bartenders, stand-up comedian, you name it. No matter who you are or what kind of industry you work in, as long as you're willing to meet people and talk to people, there's less likely you're gonna be lonely. And not to mention, I really enjoy being a member of the Gaijin community. We always gather together and talk about the cultural shocks in Japan. It's real fun. As someone who used to live in a town where people only respect to lawyers, bankers, and doctors, I really find the mutual understanding and mutual respect here in Japan. And reason number three, the working culture in Japan is getting better. Japan used to be quite famous for the phenomenon of karoshi, death from overwork. However, as these incidents gradually gained attention, people started to realize that the old work culture in Japan was just too much. So nowadays in the Japan market, at least the company I work for, doesn't care if you leave the office punctually. I had some interview with several companies that their office ends at 5:30 p.m. and any minute work beyond that is gonna be compensated with overtime pay. They didn't hire me though. But of course, some old big Japanese companies are still having the philosophy of working overtime as this is honorable, and everybody feels ashamed in that kind of company, like leaving the office early. However, having been in Japan for a while, I can say that the work culture here is changing. Number four, the transportation here in Japan is so decent and efficient. It makes it so simple to plan a short trip during weekends. Short trip during weekends can be a little bit mendokusai, especially for someone who can drive. And speaking of trips in Japan, I believe many of you visited Japan because of the good foods, onsen, and sightseeing in the countryside, right? Then imagine how easy it is to access to these areas with simply taking a densha or shinkansen on a Friday night or Saturday morning after a long week. If you have been to Japan, the public transportation experience is amazing. It's super punctual, and traveling a long time by train is so comfortable. It makes a visit to another town so much easier. I even have a friend who visits Kamakura for surfing from Tokyo by train once a week. Yes, it takes 4 hours round trip from Kamakura to Tokyo, but wow, whoa, what's going on here? Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't have food. I don't have food. But I've never heard about her complaining about the long trip by train because the efficiency of the trip makes her visit to Kamakura so much easier without driving. Yeah. And reason number 5, I love the raw meat dish in Japan. The quality of meat in Japan is superb, and making the dish raw is just so much better. Tori sashi, gyu reba, gyu hatsu, harami sashi. Oh. I used to be very scared by raw meats, but if it's provided in Japan, I trust it's safe. Every foreigner has their reason of staying in Japan. It could be like the sakura in the spring season, the red leaves in fall. Some Gaijin even stay in Japan simply because how clean the public toilet is. Then what's yours? Leave your comment below and let's see if we share the same thoughts. Does anyone keep living in Japan simply because of the raw meats just like I do?